Well, welcome everybody to our first recorded sermon. This is Thursday afternoon, the 19th of March, and we're here in church, Carnmoney-Church, but aware you could be watching this at any time. And in these difficult times when we can't meet together for worship, it's our intention to be able to continue recording both our services and our sermons and just putting them up on our website so that you can stay in touch in spirit, even if not in body. So please do look at the website in the days ahead, especially the new prayer resources that Elaine has put on for us there now, which can really help you to pray daily for all that is going on in our nation and in our world at the moment. And please also read the letter that Carol and I have written to all our parishioners, outlining how we can continue to serve God and be the church in a different way maybe at this time. I've been thinking a little bit this week about Joseph, him of the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And you'll remember the story that he was sold as a slave into Egypt by his treacherous brothers. And he ended up in prison before, by God's grace, becoming the Prime Minister of Egypt. And eventually he comes face to face with his contrite brothers after they've travelled to Egypt to beg for food. And they're full of remorse when they eventually realise that it is Joseph who holds their lives in his hand, and they offer themselves to him as his slaves. But he says these words, he says, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive." And that little phrase just got me thinking a bit about the coronavirus and the awful situation that we currently find ourselves in. There's almost universal fear and anxiety around at the moment, as all our familiar props are just being removed one by one. So where is God in all this? It seems like the devil is actually having a real field day, as this virus seems to be reigning supreme. But let's remember at this time that God is still sovereign, and he can bring good out of the situation that we find ourselves in. Paul says, "All things work together for good for those who love him, who are called according to his purposes." And people of faith can believe that out of all the fear and the awfulness, God can work and bring good, and that he wants us to be part of his plans for piercing the darkness around us at the moment. Lynn emailed me a very interesting Facebook post earlier this week, and it's a conversation between God and the devil. And the devil begins, and he says, "Look at my handiwork. I've caused anxiety, fear and panic. People are looking out only for themselves, and there's not a toilet roll to be found. I will shut down businesses, schools, and even churches and sports events. I'll cause economic turmoil, and everybody will despair." But God replies to the devil. He says, "I will bring together neighbours and restore community spirit. I will restore the family unit and bring dinner back to the kitchen table. I will help people to slow down their lives and appreciate what really matters. I will teach my children to rely on me and not the world. I will teach my children to trust me and not their money and material resources." And I think we can see this beginning already. The coronavirus is challenging us to be church and work out our faith at the moment in totally new ways. Please do read our letter for how this might look in the coming days. But maybe the challenge for each one of us is to find and include God in our changing situation. For example, Carol and me are learning how to record services and become more social media savvy at the moment. And now that I can't visit, I've got much more time to read, to run and get much fitter, maybe to spend some time getting my garden under control. And I'm also intending to learn the guitar so that when we come back I can play that in church. And maybe the opportunities are countless for all of us as we have a little bit more time. Let's remember that God is with us and constantly working for our good, whatever we're going through. So can we look for him and hear his call and respond to the opportunities as they present themselves to us in the days ahead? So may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Amen.